Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to the new week, welcome to the new moon in Scorpio. I hope you were able to set the intention for what kind of change you want to bring into your life. The quality change, of course. The big shift, the transformation. What do you want to radically change, right? And what is the goal? That's ultimately the energy of the new moon. And while we're still processing that energy, it's going to stay with us for a couple of days, probably for a week actually. Let's take a look and see what's going on with divine masculines at this time. How are they doing with all the scorpionic energy of complete and full transformation? I'm going to start with an oracle deck. Actually, I will pull a card for divine feminines who are watching this, who are cross-watching, and then we'll get into the divine masculine reading. We have Uncovering Treasure. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. So divine feminine, this is the time when you are seeing things from a different perspective and you're discovering new information, new valuable connections, and maybe even new opportunities for creativity and for business in places where you didn't think to look, right? Like it will come to you. Make sure you write it down or voice record or whatever you do, but you kind of keep track of that so that those ideas don't run away. And however strange they are or the topics are, still write them down and you'll know why. Yeah, let's see what we have for the masculines. We have infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. So for masculines, definitely lots of opportunities to grow financially, to bring about the lifestyle that you see for yourself. And for some, I'm hearing if you have any family members or friends who are alienated at the time, like you're not in contact, something went down and you had a falling out, this is the time when they can come back, when things come full circle and there is an opportunity for rejuvenation and for a new cycle that is healthier and happier. All right, so that's something for you to think about, what you're already manifesting and what you can still set as your manifestation, as your intention for this cycle. Okay, let's see with tarot what's going on with divine masculines. The questions I'm going to be asking are going to be what is happening with divine masculine energy during this time, what are they thinking about, right? What is happening in that world just generally in their life, where are their thoughts? Then we'll see how they see divine feminine at this time, and then finally what action are they taking. At the end I'll pull some messages from divine masculine to feminine, the oracle messages. Whoa, 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 too much going on. Okay, no, I gotta take this one. Okay, so this is 5D space, this is thoughts. This is how they see divine feminine, and this is the action they're taking. 10 of coins at the bottom of the deck. There's another confirmation for that great abundance that's coming in. And I'm also getting with this card that it's something that divine masculines have been manifesting for a while. It's like, you know, like that, I don't know, if I have association with the kids, it's something the kid wanted for a long time, and the parents kept like setting more and more goals and tasks and be like, okay, but you also need to save money, okay, but you also need to I don't know, finish school year with all A's, or you also need to do these kind of projects, or you also need to stay with grandma for a week and help her out, or something like that. Like, you know, like it had multiple steps to it, and all the time, like in that example, for instance, the kid would be like, oh my god, when are we finally gonna get to that place? Like how much longer? Like there was that anticipation, and now it's time for that treasure to come around, right? We actually have, in States at least, we have Thanksgiving coming up. people are going to be doing a lot of shopping, and it's, for some, I'm getting, especially those who are in state, this is like that opportunity to finally get what they wanted, because A, they've been doing their homework, they've been saving, they've been doing research, but B, they also feel that it's a reward for all the hard work that they've done, right? And it doesn't have to be like, yeah, I mean, we're talking about financial abundance, but if you're able to buy something that you feel like you need or you want, like it's your cherished dream, it falls into that category, yes. And if they find a good deal for Black Friday or Thanksgiving, you know, that will help them finally get it, that they maybe couldn't afford before, then it does it, that counts. Okay, let me get the clarifiers. By the way, if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also check out my other channel. It's got horoscopes, monthly horoscopes for each of the zodiac signs. Right now, I've got the November horoscopes posted, but next week I will start posting horoscopes for December. So watch out for those. I also plan to restart my blog, and I think for each of the topics I'll be doing videos. I don't think that I'll be doing exactly like word for word the article, but I'll be speaking on that topic that I'm uncovering in the article. Bottom of the deck here, King of Wands. Yeah, this is like sense of power, sense of the spark, you know, when you're in the flow, in the moment, like, yeah, things are happening. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. Okay, so what's happening in the energy layer? Have 5 of Wands clarified by 10 of Wands. Wow, this is huge. I mean, both of these are quite energies of, they're quite heavy. Energies of being exhausted, of like feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders kind of idea. But they are 5 and 10 of the same suit, right? Like it's sort of like the divine masculines are halfway through some of their karmic energies, going through the karmic energies. And this is very interesting because this is on the 5D space. So this means they're actually feeling it on the energy level, right? And there are certain things that they can do, certain things they cannot do, right? And this is what we're getting. For divine masculines watching, this is why there are certain things that you cannot do yet, that you cannot achieve, although it seems like it's right in front of you, but you just can't reach for it, right? Like that final handshake isn't happening because you still haven't learned all the lessons you were supposed to learn for that, right? Like that's the goal, where it gets to the point where you're like, okay, I've had so much of this BS that I'm not having that anymore, right? And not only that you are not having it, but also that you don't want to behave in the same way with other people, right? Like this is coming full circle where you see how things ricochet back at you, right? And instead of being in the victim mentality or like fighting back from everybody else who's like trying to get you, right? Seeing how much your own mindset is attracting that energy, right? And at a certain point, it's like, I've had enough. Nope, that's not doing that anymore, right? And it works like that. You can drop those burdens and start attracting something a lot healthier. And the more healthy energy you attract in terms of people, opportunities, events, the easier it is for you to heal more and be in that loving, kind energy yourself, right? It's really hard to do that when you're constantly approached with, like, you're challenged and people are either angry or upset with you or jealous or something like that, right? Like you feel like you're in a constant competition mode, right? But once this cycle is closed, then you'll be able, first of all, to breathe out, have a breather to yourself, but also, like I said, attract much healthier energies in all layers of your life. And that will allow you to continue growing, to continue ascending and leaving all those karmic patterns behind. What are they thinking about? Three of Swords clarified by 4 of Wands. Yeah, there's a heartbreak around the idea of marriage, of union, of partnership. And yeah, there are different scenarios here, of course, but regardless of whether they have the divine feminine on their mind right now in this context, or karmic partner or karmic partners, right? Or soulmate. It's something that they have regret about. It's something that feels painful. It feels like, I never thought this will go down like that. Like, I had such high hopes for this relationship, or like everything seemed so bright, so sunny. There was so much hope there, and then suddenly things turned dark, and I don't know what happened there, or like, I don't know how to trust people after that. Something along those lines, right? Like, something happened where they like, I mean, I was really serious about like going all the way, and then suddenly something changed around, like everything was going well, and then suddenly it changed, and I can't put my finger into when. I started being in this heartbreak zone all the time, right? And they're now thinking about it more and more, and that's where a lot of keys are allocated for their transformation, for the death and rebirth, when it comes to relationships and the healthier energy, right? Like, they're starting to see that some things that they didn't pay attention to, some red flags that they ignored, they like, it's not like the person suddenly changed from being good to being evil, right? It's like there were red flags there all along, but they chose to ignore those, and at some point it just kind of showed up. The person felt like now they've got the reins over the situation, and they can you know, they can show they're in charge, and things are gonna be their way, right? And then suddenly it's like, whoa, where did that come from? But actually the setup was being done, was being laid out through the whole time, from the first day the two of you met. And of course, the other side of this coin is they're considering how much they screwed up those opportunities that were good, right? And for some, it will be with the feminine, if you're in that part of your journey. For others, it's just generally things or relationships where they felt like it was boring. Like, look at this person, they look bored, right? Like, maybe they thought that's boring, or like, this person is not good enough for what I have in mind, right? Or like being judgmental about the person, whatever it is, right? Like, you can fill in the blanks, their age, their cultural background, I don't know, maybe what their occupation was, how well they cooked, for example. Like, it could be anything, right? Like, something that they were holding as like this template next to the person. It's like, if they didn't match, it was like, nope, next. Like, they didn't value the love that the person had for them and was ready to give to them, right? And there is sadness and heartbreak around those experiences. Very interesting. How they see in Divine Feminine, we have Hangman in reverse, clarified by 8 of Swords. They see that for the feminine, the feminines are having a hard time to see the love in the situation, or to see where they're coming from, the masculines, I mean. Because the masculines understand that they have a lot on their plate, like they're dealing with a lot in their life. Where it's like, when, you know, the house is on fire, you probably aren't going to be like relating too much to what the other person is doing. At least this is masculine's perspective. For the cross watchers, if this is triggering for you, this is just the perspective I'm sharing that the masculines are holding right now. So it's like, they don't really like that perspective. They don't feel it's fair to them, but they also understand that because there's a lot going on over there, it's not a good time to try to kind of level the field or try to explain or whatever, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna let them be, and ideally they are gonna have a different perspective eventually. What action is the masculine taking at this time? Strength, clarified by 9 of Swords. Yeah, and even 9 of Swords is like, I mean, yeah, I guess this figure is usually in the kind of despair, but there's also the motion of crying, right? Like, there is that sadness of not feeling courageous enough, not feeling capable enough to walk through the door, to make the bold move. And that will mean like some part of the old life is going to be over, and that means some of the plans they had, maybe it was that person that they're thinking now that, oh yeah, that was never going to work out, maybe something financial, right? Like they realize that they know deep down that they need to be courageous and walk into a new direction, but there's still the ego again. Like this is the sword energy, right? The brain doesn't want to let it go because they put a lot of effort into that something that they need to leave behind, to like to shift their gears, whether it's financial, personal, right? Maybe it's even the investment that they had, and now they have to admit that it's not worth that time and energy, and just leave it behind and just accept the losses and move on to something bigger and better, because this is only going to get harder with time and going to be draining their energy, right? It's always hard to make this kind of decisions, but that's where the courage is tested, the strength is tested, that we A, trust ourselves with this, and B, we have faith that there is something much better waiting for us on the other side if we continue making choices in alignment with the universe. Okay, messages from the masculines to the feminines at this time. What would I like to share? If you're interested in a personal reading, send me an email, or you can also book a reading on the website mindfulbamboo.com. Okay, quite a few cards towards the end. I'll take them all. So first we had this one. I fear you will reject the real me. You will reject me, sorry. I fear you will reject me. You make me want to be a better person. Yeah, and that's actually what the interesting part is. Like that's what comes out from the heartbreak energy. It's like a cycle, like a, you know, sinusoid, where it's like going up and down, and then yeah, when they're in a heartbreak, it goes down, and then they get inspired, they realize something, it's an enlightenment moment, they go up, they do better, they know better, they're like in that high energy, then something else comes up on their path and they're down again, and it just keeps going like that. I have trust issues. Yes, and that's that courage card that I was explaining right now. I hurt you because it was easier than to tell you the truth. And I fear you will reject. Oh my god, that's the card I was reading before. I fear you will reject the real me. But yeah, that's really what they fear. Not just reject me, but reject the real me. So yeah, lots of problems with self-worth, and that's why this card comes up. That's the challenge from the divine right now, to gain more muscle weight in the strength category, because they're gonna need it for a lot of things. So this is like divine masculine in training, learning to switch from this energy into this one. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.